Okay guys, here is the dinner time routine. I'm going into the dog room. Snorri's making a racket. That is normal. All the food is in the dog fridge in here. Rosie and Polo get Farmer's Dog, and Snorri gets the food that I make in this tub. Each tub is 1 day, so he gets half of it per meal. And then I'll pull out the Farmer's Dog. They're in these little packets, and their names are on them and the amounts are on them. Polo gets half per meal, and Rosie gets a quarter. So when you have to cut them open, this one's Polo's. Cut it open, and I just kind of guess. We're not very precise in this household. Polo's, and squeeze it out. It breaks pretty nicely right in half. Fold it up and store it in the little Farmer's Dog container. Throw that in the fridge. Polo's done. Rosie, and just for memory's sake, I always put Polo's on the left and Rosie's on the right because there's an L in Polo and Rosie starts with an R for right. Silly, but it does help. Okay, so there's Rosie's. And then you won't have Gromit, but I'm going to set up Gromit's tonight. Because he does get fed. Okay. Do his real quick. And there's Gromit's. Alright, so Snorri's. There are spoons in this drawer here. So, spoons for Snorri's. And take the container. Do that half. Snorri gets the little glass bowl. And the others get the white bowls. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so that is half, and then he'll get the rest of that for breakfast. And then he gets 3 scoops of this Pancreaved powder. And this little modified spoon with a little tiny scoop on the end. He gets 3 of these. Dust it in there. And 3. And then you got to stir the powder in completely so you can't see it anymore because it's got to absorb into the food. It sits for 15 minutes to absorb into the food because if it doesn't, it will burn his stomach. So stir it in, and then I look at my watch. It's about 6 o'clock, so they will be able to eat at 6:15. Okay, so that's it for mixing up the dog food. Now for the cats, and Brad already fed the cats, but I'm going to walk you through it anyway. Cat food is in this little container here. And they each get 2 tablespoons of kibble. And then Dee Dee and Stevie are not very interested in the kibble these days, so we stir in a little bit of either this tuna or Hank's leftover pet towel dog food. So hasn't hurt them yet, and it makes them eat. So I go ahead and do just about that much in each bowl and mash it in there and get all the kibble covered in it. And that usually gets them interested enough to eat a meal. You might find that there's leftover, but as long as they have a few bites every meal, we're good. And they get a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So they'll get their breakfast around 8 with the other dogs, and then they'll get a lunch around noon, and they will scream until you feed them. And then they get dinner, and then we just leave the bowls out on the counter overnight, and then clean it up in the morning to do a new one. I've got all this stuff written down, but I wanted to give you a video so you knew where everything was, and seeing it kind of helps me be able to go through the process a little bit more confidently. I think that's it. So after the 15 minutes, I go ahead and I drop the bowls. Let me show you where I do that, where everyone eats, so that you can see the locations. Hang on a second, Gromit. I'll get to you later. Okay, so Rosie eats right here at beside the water bowl here. Polo eats on this rug over here, and Snorri eats on the ottoman right here. When they see you bring in the bowls, they're gonna go to their spots. But just in case Rosie gets sneaky and tries to go after Snorri's food, I wanted you to know the locations. That is pretty much everything, I believe. If not, I will leave notes or make another video. Thank you so much, guys.